It's going to take a couple minutes for this to render out, about 5 minutes or so.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, folks. Chip builds. Yeah, we're gonna be there. Hope to see you at Maker Faire. So Donovan, we stopped the second stream. Well, we're recording 2 episodes tonight, and so I had to stop the stream in order to name it something else to have a separate video file on YouTube. Separate entry.
We're still here.
We're still here. We're recording 2 episodes because we would like to land at episode 100 at Maker Faire, and 6 months ago we would have been able to do that, but we had a couple weeks due to different circumstances where we had to miss, and so we're like 4 episodes behind. So we're trying to catch up. We're gonna have a couple new. Oh, you guys want a new background for this one? Let's do it. We got a couple minutes.
I love the Street
Heck
Fighter.
yeah,
one.
we do.
Wes, can you do like an animated background? Not like for this episode right now. I'm just wondering if it's possible.
It's possible if I use the other updated streaming software, the updated version of the software. You can do media files, and so if I had like a GIF, or I might be able to do a video. I'm not sure.
No, I'm just thinking it'd be cool if you could have like the street, like us in the background, but then the Street Fighter guys like fighting in the middle.
Whoa, what just happened?
What kind of
Yeah,
background
sure.
should I use? Go ahead.
I'm just worried about it being more intense on Wes's machine, though, too.
Oh, you should see when I use this. I use the newer, updated software for my Twitch stream, and I probably have like 20 inputs, like graphics, text, like 4 webcams going. Like that does put a strain on it, but beyond that, it's fine. So, Donovan, you should try to go to Maker Faire, man. You should do it.
Yeah, Donovan, you need to go.
Please.
Yeah, we'd love to meet everybody in
What's up,
person.
Sean from Maker on the Move is here. Yes, we are up late. That's how we do it.
Maker on the Move will be there.
With your new truck?
I hear Twitch is very valuable if you can do it right.
I like it. I'm trying, but it's hard to get a set schedule.
Yeah.
Especially
Bob
with
made a point about Twitch is that it's geared to give people, or to give the makers, like to pay the makers. Yeah, whether it is little incremental things like the culture is that you get stuff to give out. Like it's a very tip jar oriented rather than YouTube just being passive and you get your 0.003 cents or whatever per click.
Hey, we've been talking about Twitch the last couple of weeks, and I think maybe it was only Wes I was talking to him on this, but I think there is a lot of huge potential with Twitch, and I would love to see the maker side of it gain even more popularity, because 98% of it is all gaming right now.
Sure.
Which has a huge following, but I would love to see more interactivity on the maker side.
Can we do Twitch?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, I thought about it.
That's what Bob and I were talking about our podcast that we were going to start, that was going to be primarily on Twitch, and then just take the audio recording and publish that. It's a platform that's already there, that is already established on, and kind of has a nature of giving.
I mean, yeah, why not do both? And there's already this kind of acceptance that Twitch is kind of like raw and unfiltered, so there's really no editing of the video involved. So why not use it?
Yeah.
All of our like 80 subscribers on our current YouTube channel, what are they going to do? All right, what background should I look for? We did Mega Man. We did Street Fighter. I'd like to have better integration with the background, kind of like what I did with the Mega Man.
Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
How about like Ninja Turtles or something?
Yeah.
4 turtles is 4 of us.
Aliens vs. Predator. The old Capcom game.
Donovan, yes, there are way too many social media outlets to have to keep up with all that to be successful. When we were at Workbench Con, I met people I had never even heard of that were pros at Pinterest and at individual blogging and like certain AdSense from blogs and stuff that we had never heard of before. And so people think of Bob being like the king of all this stuff. And I mean, in a lot of circles that's true, but we met people that put us to shame and things that we had no idea existed. And they were like, oh my God, you have to get on board with this thing. Luckily, none of that was Vero.
Did that die already?
Oh, it's
I hope so.
It crashed and burned pretty quickly.
Yeah. As soon as that came up, I was like, man, damn it. I don't want to have to do something else.
I didn't sign up. I'm like, hell no.
What the hell is the Neverhood?
So, quick question for you guys, and maybe we should answer this when we start recording again. But because of another platform like Twitch, and a lot of people who are in the makerspace may not be as familiar with it, are there 4 or 5 people on the maker side in Twitch that you'd recommend people get started listening to or watching? I know about 3 or 4 offhand that I would recommend to people.
Bob,
Wes included.
Sarah, Wes.
Yeah.
There's another girl that makes stuff.
Yeah.
And she has a really involved.
Have you ever watched Kirkwood?
Yeah.
He has because he films his entire building process. He makes a lot of cutting boards, like a lot of customer projects. But he has a really good camera setup for that shop, where it's not just one spot. It's actually similar to Bob's in a way, I think.
NV Woodworks too.
A little bit less automated, yeah. But I think those are good models for people to take a look at what's possible with Twitch. And it is a different animal because of the multi-camera setup and how you have to set that up in OBS.
Yeah. If you can do it right, it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Almost got the background selected.
Okay, so last episode is done rendering, so I'm ready for the new one. I'm just going to start recording, that we have a little bit of a pre-roll.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Sean, you mentioned art supplies and having a sponsor for art supplies.
Yep.
There's a company called Art Deco that makes a bunch of paints and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were at Workbench Con, and I don't remember how, but this lady, their influencer lady, emailed me and asked if I wanted to be on their influencer team, and you pretty much get free product. And I looked, I'm like, what in the world do they even sell?
Uh-huh.
And they sell a bunch of paints. There's acrylic paints and brushes and chalkboard paints, and it's very feminine. And she noted that in the email that they're trying to be more gender neutral on their website. But I was looking at their list of products, and they have like glitter products and snow products and painting parties. And one of their glitter products is called Craft Twinkles. And I was reading through this. It's a real thing. Like, Craft Twinkles is a premium all-purpose large flake glitter paint that adds bold sparkle and shine to arts, crafts, and home decor projects.
Bold sparkle.
It offers dramatically better coverage than glitter glues. And I was like, I want to call this lady just so I can have a video sponsored by Craft Twinkles.
I'd buy it just for that.
I can send you her information if you want to get in on paints and stuff, because I have no need for
get in on the ground floor.
Craft Mac and Twinkles.
Some Craft
That's
Twinkles.
just what I need attached to my brand, Craft Twinkles. And glitter glue.
I just want that electric paint Josh talked about to come out.
Yes, I want that.
Oh yeah.
I want that so bad for so many things.
That's when you want to get on the ground floor with, because everybody's going to be really clamoring to show that off and get the attention of that.
Yep.
But you guys are in a pretty good spot for that.
This is stupid. No, I don't want to be part of Art Deco and their glitter glue. But yeah, that lady said that she's Well, I think one of the project heads, so I don't know what kind of influence a lady with the glow or the light paint has, but I think if they're actually going to make it a viable commercial product, she said that she wanted to fly us out and teach us how to use it, and then we could be part of their influencer push to teach other people how to use it, because it is a process. It's not just spray paint. Like jab it with a 9-volt battery. It takes a little more than that.
You should almost brainstorm, and which you probably guys already have, like a project that you would use that for ahead of time, and almost like
we have a list.
I'm not surprised, like Tron suit or whatever it is, and be huge for cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Tron bike. And I don't mean the actual.
Tron.
I don't mean the actual bike. I just mean get a 10-speed and spray paint it.
Sean says there was a car with that EL paint on it at the Bay Area Maker Faire last year. Yeah, so the lady told us that it was developed by like a car customizer. I think that's who they licensed the idea from, and now they're just trying to make it mass marketable. It was cool. And she saw the look on our face whenever we finally understood what it was that she was trying to sell. Because it looked like she was just selling like UV glow-in-the-dark paint, because the little advertising board they have was just super vague and kind of crappy. We're like,
I tried using that EL wire on a project, and it's just not bright enough. I don't know if they have different gauges of it, but it just it
Sean
wasn't
said
bright
the
enough.
same thing. It was cool, but very dim.
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially during. I mean, if it was light outside, it'd be difficult to see.
I had a friend who used it for skateboards.
EL wire?
Yeah. He didn't do a lot of it, but he did use some of it.
Who was that? The Hacksmith made a Wonder Woman whip with EL wire that they cranked up the voltage to it, so it glowed like pretty substantially.
All right, I'm ready on this end. But Sean, you're going to have to keep your head in the middle. There you go.
What are we looking like? I guess.
I haven't even seen what we are yet. Although Chip
You're
Build
gonna love
says she walked away now that we're cereal. All right.
I like it.
Can I be Captain Crunch?
You don't have me as the pirate, do you?
That's funny.
Wasn't meant to be.
Oh, I am? Cocoa Puffs? I think I'm Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. Cocoa Krispies.
That's
I see it.
hilarious.
Oh, Cocoa Krispies are the best.
They are the best. I'm some
Are
crap
Cocoa Krispies
nasty.
better than Cocoa Pebbles?
Oh, hell yeah.
That was definitive.
I like Honey Smacks.
Yeah, me too. I like Golden Crisp, actually.
Actually,
Sometimes taste stale too quickly.
my wife found this stuff for the baby called rice rollers from Costco or something, and it tastes like a less sugary version of Honey Smacks. I'm like, oh, I can eat this whole package.
I always thought Golden Grams are better dry than they were in milk, because they turned into like wet leaves.
Yeah. See, that's why I liked Cinnamon Toast Crunch after it got a little soggy. Like
Yep.
at the end, I loved
Delicious.
that. Yeah.
We talked about cereal in one episode.
Oh, we have. Too much.
Yeah.
You guys gave me a hard time for liking Life. Yeah,
That's
the
garbage.
Life is my favorite cereal.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, how dare you! Those are fighting words. You
I
know,
wanna
Mikey
know-
likes it.
I want to know in these pictures why Sean's cereal and like the two beside him are opened already on the shelf. That's kind of weird.
I think it's
Mark's
obvious.
is open.
Yeah, mine's open too.
Yeah, it
you,
is.
got
And this
some,
is not how a cereal is displayed.
you got some giant D-bag just walking through the supermarket
Pull on
opening
the
cereal
prizes out.
boxes.
I'm trying to get the prize. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, you guys set?
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Have we figured out what we want? Are we going to talk about one of our lists?
Are we talking
One
about
of
the
our
two
questions
versus
or
two
the other
thing?
question?
Or what? One of our questions?
Is that
Oh,
enough
yeah.
to talk about an entire episode?
Probably not.
No,
Well,
what was,
this is a
what
short
was
episode.
the dream project with no limits?
Yeah, that was the other one that got suggested.
We had some pretty good ones too. For sure.
Yeah,
I don't remember what they were though.
Neither do I, because I can't find the paper.
Damn.
I wrote it on the paper.
and my kids move it off my desk.
Nice.
Those meddling kids.
Oh, well.
I still got to watch that episode of Supernatural. They get zapped into the Scooby-Doo universe.
Zoinks.
You guys want to decide right now or just start?
Just start. I'll do the present from our Bosley.
And do the intro a little bit differently, so it's like a Hump Day episode or something.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Extra smattering of making geeks for your week to get through your
Yeah,
week
you
or
want-
something.
You want me to do it or Sean do it?
If you got something to say, that's cool. Yeah.
Nah, not really. Just
All right, never mind.
never have anything smart to say.
Hello.
Hooray!
Crash and burn early on that one. All right.
Hooray!
Take another bite of peanut butter toast crunch. Ugh.
Yeah, that one's weird.
Hello, Internet, and everybody listening in the live chat. You're listening to a special presentation of the Making Geeks podcast, the podcast for makers, dads, and geeks. Geeks? Geeks.
Keepsake.
We're going to keep going. I'm not going to redo it, but
Keep.
here we are in a special presentation of the podcast to get you through your week for Wednesday on Hump Day. And we have our lovely co-host with you today, Mr. Josh Price.
Hi, everybody.
So lovely.
Yes. Even more lovely, Mr. Mark O'Keefe.
The voluptuous. What's going on, guys?
The loveliest of all, Mr. Wes Swain.
Oh yeah, what's up?
You just degraded my loveliness.
Giggity.
And I am Sean Jolliker.
You're pretty lovely.
Very lovely.
How nice of you to say.
So those of you watching in our live stream, I have a background on the stream itself.
Of
That is-
Wes's pantry.
It's a bunch of cereals on like an aisle at a grocery store. So each of our faces is like plastered on the front of a cereal box. So it's actually making me pretty hungry, to be honest.
Word?
But some of these are pretty hilarious. I think these are from like another country because I don't know what Frosted Flakes Choco Zacuritas is, but it sounds interesting. But
Or strawberry pops.
another
Yeah,
reason.
I've never
No,
seen
that's-
strawberry
That's
pops.
Coco
Yeah.
Ludicrous. That's the
Coco
space
Oh,
balls.
Coco Ludicrous. Yeah. No, it's Z.
That's the
Zudic-
space.
There's a Z. Zucratius.
Oh,
Anyways,
If you look at the picture of the strawberry pops with the seal thing on it, look at the top. Like some savage ripped this box open.
I don't know.
yeah, the entire row.
So that's another benefit
it's
for
all-
you guys to tune in to our live show because we have some different backgrounds and little interesting presentations here and interesting interactivity. So look us up on YouTube for Making Geeks Podcast YouTube channel. Subscribe to not miss it. We're going to stream live up until Maker Faire in May. So every Thursday around 9 to 10, usually around 9, sometimes later, but set it to be notified. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I got to say some thanks. First to Mr. Robert Riles. I'm saying that right?
It is right. Yep.
Riles. Okay. I had posted a question in the Maker group, seeing whose preference had what for the that Cyclone shop vac thing that the particle separator.
Mm-hmm.
And he just sent me one he wasn't using for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Yeah,
those
thank
things
you,
aren't cheap.
man. I thoroughly appreciate it. You are awesome. I completely owe you one day when you need. And
He's
the
gonna be
other
at Maker
one,
Faire. He's sharing our Airbnb with us.
I'm gonna give him a
Guys
hug
can
and
spoon.
I'm gonna give him a hug and a
There you
kiss.
go.
I just hope there's less of a percentage of us that snore this time around.
Not guaranteed.
That probably will not be the case.
You guys
But-
should do like a live Airbnb
Snorecast?
house cam. Yeah.
Oh,
There's a lot of
sexy.
septums in that group.
A lot of deviations.
They're
So,
askew.
the other thing I wanted to do was the live unboxing from our Bosley. Mr. Seth Williams sent me a mystery package, and it scared me a little bit because if you can see the name on the shipping label, it's not Seth Williams. So I got a little worried when this thing showed up. I was like, I didn't buy anything from Etsy. What the heck's going on?
It didn't start ticking, did it?
That I was wondering, but the thing that there's no movement. So if you
Good
see if you see a puff of white powder, do me a favor, call 911.
Oh, you did. If it's
You
a
two
slipper
know.
head, I'm gonna be very upset.
What's
Well,
in the box? What's in the box?
Ralphie.
Oh, my arms will move. All right.
Seth sent Bob and I some like old tools where he works. He works in a calibration lab, and we use the thermometer and hydrometer in the 3D printing cabinet.
So there's a note that says, "I couldn't resist. Totally worth it, Seth."
Usually you show the box in an unboxing.
Yeah, what's up with this? Oh my
Turn
gosh,
your
there's
face
white
into a
powder.
phone.
Uh-oh, there's the powder.
It's just, yeah, right.
Put the box
You bought
inside
your
the box.
CPD in a box.
So Seth, I did a joke post about somebody selling the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's
Describe
the
it.
Don't
funniest
put it on; you'll
goddamn
destroy the universe.
I love our fans.
You got to
So-
describe what it is.
Yes.
Oh, the sound.
describe
It is. Oh yeah, we're doing an audio podcast. It is a yellow rubber kitchen glove with jewels hot glued onto it.
Seth, you know what? I think you need to turn that into an Instructables.
You
That's
should.
awesome. You better wear that crap to the when you go see that movie. You better have that on. With
You should bring that to Maker Faire. Are you
You
kidding?
need to bring that to Maker Faire.
Yeah, this will probably.
I want you to wear that through security.
Right? What
No
is
problem.
this? I'm just fabulous. God damn, that's
Well,
funny.
you are. You know, Maker Faire is in a very interesting city.
This is true. That's funny as hell. I can't believe this is real. Somebody's like seriously selling this.
That's pretty brilliant. And gag gift market is on point.
Yeah.
Seth said he thinks he sold 3. So now you have to battle someone for control of the universe.
You mean it's not the only one? What the hell? That's funny as hell. Thank you, Seth. I needed that laugh. That was hilarious.
Super good.
So how do we follow that up?
Oh, God.
Good night, everybody.
Was there anything that we didn't mention that you've been excited about this week or anything coming up?
I didn't geek out about anything.
I'm hoping to see Ready Player One on Tuesday. So there's that.
I think we're seeing it Sunday.
I would like to
Is
see
that
it.
one that we're going to be doing a spoiler cast for?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can try to see it before next time if Mark can.
I can make plans or next couple weekends go see it after everyone goes to bed.
Okay.
Next couple weekends. Yeah.
Because
Do
we
you guys want
skipped
the bingo card?
Huh? Oh, the bingo. Ooh.
Did I tell you about that? The bingo
Yeah.
card that I made?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think we should share that with everybody.
I'll send it to you and you can put a link in the show notes.
Yeah, got it.
So we're talking about, if this is your first time understanding, is I made a bingo card and you can fill it in with like, because this is a good movie that you have a lot of content. You put like characters you think you're going to see or plot twists or things that you think are going to happen. And then you write them all in before you go in with you and your pals or your loved ones. And then if you get bingo, the people that you're with have to buy you dinner. But there's been a lot of trailers.
Yeah.
So things that are in the trailer, like that's kind of cheating.
Yep. I think I accidentally read a spoiler. Not a legit spoiler, like most people consider one, but someone mentioned a possible cameo that I'm not going to say, but having that be a complete surprise would have been better than me possibly knowing it now. So,
Just go ahead and put that in your dark memories, and then we'll talk about it later.
Yep. Should be a fun time. So today, are we gonna tackle the dream projects, or are we gonna hit something else?
Let's do the dream ones again.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We can see if they maybe what they were. If you guys remember what you said before, and see if they changed.
No.
And then Josh, I like what you said about kind of like categorizing it 3 different ways. You had said one based on, I guess, our current means. One if money wasn't an issue, and then one is like the bananas one or something, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you remembered that because I forgot what you were talking about.
It was something like that, something along those lines.
Yeah. Oh, but there was something I'm excited about this week that I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Last time. I haven't signed a contract, but I have a deal with Craig, the tool company. Some content.
Nice.
Yeah. For the first of hopefully a few. I'm not going to say many, but I know a few that we've talked about that they've agreed to. I'm going to build our queen size bed. I have a big sheet of walnut plywood, so I'm going to build a bed frame out of a sheet of plywood in a day using some of their products. Huh. So they're writing up the contract and they're going to send it to me, and I can get to work. So I got to deal with people. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I like
All right,
Craig.
so yeah, Craig, right? I got no problem with Craig.
Craig's got some good stuff. I'm debating on getting their track saw, their universal track saw thing.
The AccuCut?
I think is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's one of the things they're sending. So I'll tell you how it works because I hate the circular saw. I hate it. So we'll see if this takes the edge off. And
I've tried to make those. You know how there's like a million YouTube videos on how to make your own track for a track saw for any circuit. I've tried that, and I always get just the slightest little wavy line, and it drives me insane that I can't get a straight cut out of a circular saw.
Well, I'll tell you if it's any good. I'll be legit because I hate that tool.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about dream builds today. We talked about this in a previous episode, although I can't remember how long ago. But we're going to frame.
It was early.
3.
It might have been, and I think we might have even kind of revisited it in some form, but really not in a full conversation. But we're going to frame this in a way based on 3 different, kind of like 3 different categories. So, what would be a dream build right now, based on what you currently already have? So basically, what you have in your shop or do you have access to? Next one, money being no issue, and then the last one, just basically bananas. It doesn't even have to be doable or achievable. Just something that kind of like a pie in the sky type of project. That's kind of the way it's proposed before.
Huh.
So to start off, maybe we should just kind of revisit what if you remember what you had said before about like dream project. Do you guys remember your previous response to that?
No.
Yep.
I remember
I
mine.
do because it was
Josh,
life
you
changing
go
for
first.
us. I wanted to make a makerspace. That was my dream build, and we uprooted our entire family in search of that dream, which is not dead. That's not gone. It's just we're not there yet. So I think that dream project is still alive. I just have to hone it, and I need to focus exactly what it is that we want to do. But I think it's been refined to really be geared toward kids. I don't know, I want to teach. I think all that whole journey has made me really want to teach more. Or get back to teaching, or teach like in an official capacity where people actually think I'm a teacher, not just like I instruct. I was an instructor, not a teacher. I think a lot of people make that hard delineation between those job titles. But I was trying to remember everybody else's. Sean, I remember yours. Mark, I think you kind of agreed with the makerspace idea. I don't remember.
I might have.
Mine was making a modular pinball machine, which is still kind of my dream project, and I mentioned this a couple times before in in different shows, that is the project that probably the main project that made me kind of go down this path of making, and I have made absolutely zero progress on it. But it's still that carrot on a stick that I think about from time to time. And on a previous episode, that was kind of that ante was kind of upped a little bit, which I'll maybe talk about a little bit later. Wes, do you remember what you had said before? I actually don't remember.
I don't. I have something I think I might have said, but I was trying to keep it close to the chest, but I don't really know how feasible it even is. It is realistically achievable if I can find the material for it. And maybe this is a good way for me to get some help in finding this material from our audience or other people listening. So I want to build the Link's King of Red Lions ship that he used in Wind Waker. So it's basically a giant ship with a sail. But I don't just want to build it out of any material. I want to make it an inflatable. So I actually want to use like the vinyl PVC sort of stuff that you would find at Walmart that you can buy like a cheap float from, right? That you get like for like $5-10. But I want to get like raw material of that and basically essentially be like sewing the ship like in panels or whatever, making like the inflatable sections. Essentially,
Can't
I want
you
to make
design?
Good.
Can't you design it in like Pepakura? And
Yeah,
then
I
instead
thought of
of
that
using
too.
paper, use.
That's the easy part. The finding the material has been difficult. I've looked at lots of different like plastic suppliers that are in the U.S. that their websites say they have all kinds of plastics, and then I've emailed them asking for this specific kind, which is pretty standard, I would think, and no one carries it. The only place I seem to can get it is in China, and like I have to buy like half a ton of the stuff for them to even call me, like talk to me. So
What about like the way MythBusters did the raft escape? Just get like sheets of rubber if you can find it, fabric backed rubber.
it's not the same material that I want. I want like the actual like there's the material that you make a beach ball out of, like that plastic.
Yeah.
And not like canvas or any other. I mean, that's a viable alternative that if I can't choose and I can't find the other stuff, then sure. More like a raft kind of material where it's like, I guess, canvas on one side and slick on the other side, and you actually sew it and do like some sort of seam application to seal it.
Yeah.
But I need them in specific colors as well. So red, white, yellow, black to make the different parts. I want to make it look cartoony and scaled to my son's size to make him Link and have it in an actual swimming pool during the summer for the video. And I think that'd be epic. I think people would lose their mind if I could actually pull it off. And I have the patience to do it. I just need to get the material. And that's hard.
It is a cool looking ship. I like it.
So I know Seth has a couple recommendations in the chat, but if anybody else has a lead on what that material is actually called, or maybe where Wes can actually follow up on that, we'd appreciate that too.
I'm trying to look up this life raft that we used to use when I was a survival instructor, and it wasn't necessarily like the beach ball material, but it may tell you what it's made out of, and it may give you a stronger lead.
Like at one point I had looked up the name and I found the name and I was emailing that name to all these other companies. I've since forgotten it at the moment, but it's like some sort of PVC vinyl something. But either companies had it, but they're like in China and you can't get it unless you order a metric S ton of it, or I've thought of different ways to approach it. Even like buying rafts that are single color, like on Amazon, and like kind of Tim swaying them to make them for a different purpose, retrofitting them or whatever. I've even thought about trying pool noodles, which is not the ideal material. I'd like to have inflatable. Like that's my dream, because I don't see anybody making things out of that. Probably because you can't find the crap. But I think it would be it would be a cool challenge, and B, if I could pull it off, I think it would enhance that cartoony look that the cell-shaded character of the ship has, because it would just be like these bright colors. It'll be shiny, and I think it would be really cool. But I don't know where in the delineation for the dream project falls into. If I can't buy it, is it like the dream project? Since I can't obtain the stuff, is it unobtainium? I don't know. So
I actually think that one applies to like almost the money because the cost to actually acquire the materials.
I like that. Yeah.
Mark, how about you?
I think my dream project has definitely shifted. I would honestly like to build a house from scratch. We're kind of in the process of looking for a new house right now, and Tracy keeps saying that, you know, everything's almost but not perfect. And I know I have the things that I want in a house that we're never going to find. So I would like to just find a plot of land that's big enough to play on, and then just let me go. Ship lumber to me, get me a backhoe, and just let me go to town. That would be a lot of fun for me.
I have a spin-off question of that. It's just sort of random, tangential. But in a standard home store, how many houses are inside the home store? Like, based on the material they have on hand. Just a random thing I've always thought about. And is there a central thing that they don't have?
Like, how much material do they have to build?
How many houses could you make with what's in the store?
Yes.
I would say...
Depends on the size of the house.
Yeah.
I mean...
I would say two average size, small to average size houses.
1,000 square feet, single story house.
4
houses? Is there some item that they're missing that, obviously like HVAC system and stuff like that, but just standard like contracting kind of style stuff?
Oh, they have HVAC stuff there.
Yeah, but they have limited supplies of usually the 2x4 lumber to kind of erect the structure.
That's what I was thinking going to be the limiting factor.
Yeah.
They probably only have, like the standard size studs, they probably only have about 6 skids at a time. So there's one limit there.
These are the things I think about when I walk through those stores.
Okay, I'm going further down your tangent.
Okay.
What do they do with all the stuff that's returned? Because I saw a dude, no lie, return like a cobalt sliding miter saw that looked like it had been used on every job site in the state and then dropped off the back of a truck.
Well, that's part of what I do for a living, so I can tell you what happens with it.
Right, and like Tiffany can return dead plants and get a refund, and I'm like, this is crap.
The number of people that actually return plants compared to the number that they sell is pretty insignificant. So it still ends up being, and it's still making money off of it in the long run. Plus, they will get a credit from the nursery a lot of times for those dead plants. Yeah, I know. And they can't resell them because once they've been on your property, they don't know what they've been exposed to in terms of chemicals or bugs. So they don't want that back in their nursery. So that's why it kind of works that way. For the other items like tools, they have contracts with the manufacturers where if something was a flaw or a defect, a lot of times you can actually return it to the manufacturer for a merchandise credit. So when you actually buy additional merchandise for them, or if it is too far gone and damaged, then it's basically written off as a loss and you get to claim it on the taxes.
Thank you.
It's a combination of those things. Usually they call it an RMA, like a return to manufacturer or something. I forget the full acronym, but yeah, it's part of what I dealt with when I worked for Lowe's, and it was a pain because a lot of my guys on my crew would actually mishandle things and damage things, and we'd have to RMA stuff all the time. You know, you're pulling a toilet off the floor and they drop it and it cracks, or or other things that I won't talk about on the show. A lot of guys that I managed on the night crew had done hard time, so we had a lot of interesting issues.
Wow.
Yep.
Tickle fights? I imagine a lot of tickle fights.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Have you ever seen a tickle fight that ends up in somebody bleeding?
That's what you do in jail.
If we have any younger listeners at this time, actually, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. We'll just leave that hang. Okay, so that kind of covers our previous answer to like dream builds. If money was no issue, I don't know. Some of the answers might be the
They're a
same.
little overlappy. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to just go for the big one? You
Yeah.
guys have an idea? So the kind of like a bananas idea, basically almost no limits. Money's not an issue, and the real feasibility isn't an issue either.
I would like to build either a really complicated treehouse, like a neighborhood in a series, like a forest. Like think of a neighborhood, but in a forest. Like elevated tree houses instead of
So you
houses on
want
the
to
ground.
you want to make an Ewok village?
Pretty much, yeah, with like electronics and stuff, and like solar panels on the tops, and
Wait, what was that? What was that species from the new Voltron that like they could grow electronics?
yeah,
Yeah, them.
that'd be cool. Either that or a giant mech. One of the two.
I want to build my house like before, but with my basement, I want to have like a basement and a sub base. I want to have like a bat cave under the basement. Like a huge, big enough to like get a vehicle in, so if I can drive my truck down and with lumber and shit and stuff, and just that crazy idea. That's ultimately that's what I would love to do.
I want to build a neighborhood of tiny houses for like, I don't know, devastated areas or people that are like lower income. I've always
That's not even bananas. That's just like that's really altruistic.
I've always wanted to do
It's
that.
cool.
Buy up like, every town has that really crappy lot, kind of like nasty parts that no one's, maybe 3 or 4 different restaurants or something that never really survived. Just in a properly zoned area, just mull it all over, make a neighborhood full of tiny houses for people that need it, and to prove to people they don't need all the crap that they have, which I know is very hypocritical of me moving back into this giant house. But yeah, I kind of want to reinvent that idea. I've always wanted to do that.
See, it kind of sucks that you told your answer with that right now because mine after that just gonna kind of sound like selfish and
Are we on the bananas one? My headphones cut out.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Yes.
for my new headphones. We're on
Yes.
bananas ones? Oh.
yeah.
Forget those people. I want to build something awesome.
My bad.
Space station. Mm.
I want to build like a big street legal dune buggy. There's been one on Craigslist that is painted up like Evil Knievel. And I kind of want to build my own dune buggy because it looks really fun. I don't know what I would do differently than just like a basic frame with a big engine and big stupid tires, but and put some hydraulics on it. Psst, 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 psst. Yeah.
I have like 3 answers for this. I'm trying to figure out if one is more worth mentioning than the other.
Yeah, throw them all out there.
I don't know if this completely qualifies as making, but I've always wanted to start my own studio. And I've had like a studio name since I was in college. And I always wanted to kind of set like a space for other people to kind of film, whether it's like a YouTube, at least, well, now, YouTube channel or maybe like short film type thing. But I love the idea of managing that space, but also having a space of my own within there to make and do all these other things too. And almost having something like a social aspect to it, almost like a social club.
That'd be cool.
A little bit more engagement and, building a little bit more community that way. That's something I've always loved the idea of. But, yeah.
And now I'm thinking of all the silly things I want to make. I want to build a Centurion suit. Has snap-on stuff. I'll 3D print the whole thing.
Well, Bob did make an Optimus Prime gun, so that doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility, in all honesty.
No, it's just 3D modeling and breaking it up and printing it.
Just some Earth magnets.
No, I want it to snap together like the toy.
How did the toy snap together?
It had holes, like the toys had holes in the suit,
Yeah,
and
did they
all
just
the
like
little
kind of
armor
Kind of for
was it
pieces
retention.
was it
Yeah.
like
had little pegs.
friction a
It
friction
had
joint?
little pegs that were like cut in half, so they would snap in, and you had to like give it a good yank for them to disengage. But yeah, I want to make a full size suit, and they would like clip in, and you have to like kind of pop it up.
Actually, Josh, if you want a good little flashback, there's if you Google Lego Centurions, there's a couple people who have made the full Lego versions of a couple of the suits. A
Really?
couple of them are really nice.
If we're looking at that kind of project, I would love to build a full size power armor from Fallout that I could wear.
I want the power loader from Aliens.
Can't you just kind of retrofit something from a construction site?
Right? Well, see, I had heard. I don't think this is true at all because this is from I don't know when did Aliens come out? 86. So this is probably 87 memory. That those things actually existed in some way. Like Caterpillar actually made one or something. I can't remember the exact story, but it was something along the lines of that it existed and one of the presidents got to get in it and use it. And that blew my mind as a little kid because that was the most epic scene of a terrifying movie that I've ever seen.
If only there was a way for us to go and look up to see if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a tool to find this stuff that far back.
These are Lego Ideas sets. These are awesome. My childhood approves of these Lego Centurion sets.
So, any other crazy ideas or dream builds, or maybe something else that you've seen that you think is just kind of out there?
I think talking to Daryl from the Broken Nerd, like with his helmet wall, like I want that helmet wall.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
For those helmets, are you thinking about just 3D printing, or are you taking more of thinking about like a cosplay approach? There's a thrift store near my house that I go to once a week, and it's one of the coolest ones that I've ever seen. And I don't know why they tend to get such a cool array of things. I usually go there to buy books, but they also have a really good collection of helmets, like old motorcycle helmets with like the open face ones.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I see it, I keep thinking, okay, that could easily be a flight helmet from Star Wars that I could just build on top of, and I already know that the insides fit for somebody's head. So I'm thinking about maybe taking that leap.
Well, I have two. I have two actual flight helmets. Like one is the one that I use now, and one's an older model. And the older model, I'm convinced they used that helmet to model Poe Dameron's X-wing helmet. So like a little modification, that thing can be like a proper helmet. Because like on the back of Poe's helmet, there's a little like circular disc thing, and that's where we would plug in these little earpieces that we had. So yeah, I've always been into helmets, either 3D printing them or just making some kind of cool helmet. And even like the flight helmet in itself is pretty cool, but making it do something else.
I just thought of a cool build that I would love to do. I think this is actually something that exists somewhere, or some variant of this for sure. But I want to do like a go-kart track where the karts are Mario Kart, and actually have you be able to launch either real or simulated like projectiles, like turtle shells, or either have, if it's not a real turtle shell or like a physical object, have a series of projectors over the track that when player A hits, selects on their little screen on their steering wheel or whatever for a turtle shell, after you pick up the item box, which is a virtual thing, have it actually like shoot a projected image of the turtle shell so spectators could see it from the top down, like see the turtle shell shoot out and ricochet and actually have physics, and then have you run over like a item box wherever the item box would be, or maybe it's like AR, like augmented reality, so you actually see the stuff, like you see the coins on the track, but they're not really there. Or have the item boxes, have you drive through them and you select the stuff. And I think that'd be kind of cool to program all the Arduino interactivity, like all the different items, how they would affect other cars, and have it like be able to go faster if you picked up a mushroom. These actually seem like feasible ideas. You could kind of iterate and like tackle the different parts of them as you go, but I think that'd be kind of a neat project to work on.
Wes, I will invest in that project.
Yeah?
No.
I will invest in that project.
Yeah. Well, for practical, doing it right now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we have the means to do it.
Oh, absolutely. I know we do.
There's the super fast, like go-kart tracks. All those carts are controlled electronically.
Mm-hmm. You control the throttles and stuff, like
so like the overlords of the place can make you go a certain speed, and they can up it on this board. And so if you were to make like an archway that goes over the track and hangs actual physical things. Mm-hmm. And so if you're driving around, like those could be your little question blocks. You could just reach up and like grab a thing. And then if you hit somebody with the shell, that guy drops down their speed.
Right.
And so now they're kind of dead in the water. Or if they run over like a banana peel, like you could maybe rent out one of those go-kart tracks for like an event and actually put that on for Wes's birthday party.
Oh.
Catherine, I just did you a favor. Make his heart and his brain explode. Make that happen.
Like an AR system, it could even work another level too, because you could get from a driver perspective, you could get some of that interaction. You could see the shell launch in front of your car and hit the other person's car and have them react to this hit. I mean, you could totally do that stuff. It'd be awesome.
Wes, there's guys that have made roller coasters in their backyard. I'm pretty sure you could be the guy that makes this in his backyard.
And we had talked about this in a previous episode where there's video online of like a full VR version of that Mario Kart. Mm-hmm. But I think the AR is even better because then you actually have that speed element and you're actually driving. Mm-hmm. But having that AR overlay where you can actually change the environment that you're in, I would actually want to go there and play every day because I think that is the kind of the holy grail of what we've been wanting out of gaming.
Yep.
That and then open up a Super Mario parkour gym.
That's an awesome idea.
And Mark, what's funny is you brought up the backyard roller coaster. That would probably be like another bananas build of mine. Just to actually have that in my backyard, It's pretty impressive how well some of those work.
Mm-hmm. Redneck engineering.
There's so many crazy things I would love to do. It's just a matter of, not stranding my family in poverty.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what we had it kind of like in those different categories too. Bananas or money is no issue, as opposed to what we would.
What is an idea right now that you would like to take the chance on? But either like for me, there's a couple things I'd like to take the chance on. But if they failed, I'd be so beyond up S's Creek.
Like visiting the International Space Station, yeah.
No, so are you talking about because of the financial investment, or are you talking because of the time you'd have to put into it?
I'm talking like I'd have to quit my job to do it, and if it failed, then crap.
Got it.
Like I'd love like the Super Mario Park. I would love to make some kind of just like geek gym, where it's like, okay, you have like parkour obstacle courses, you have a Mario themed one or a Batman themed one or something just to run around and jump and play on and be active. And I think in certain areas that would do really, really well. I just don't know if I live in an area where that would do well at all,
I don't know if I'd want to be in an environment where I see a bunch of 40-year-old men running around trying to be Batman.
What if there was like
Let your flag fly, man.
a themed cruise? You know, the Disney cruises and the rock kind of music cruises. What if there's like a geeky kind of gamer cruise?
You'd never leave your room.
I would think that would get freaky real quick. That'd
Giant
be like
LAN
the
party?
Dragon Con.
Yeah.
That'd be like Dragon Con weird, I think.
That's fine.
And I don't mean like on the floor weird. I mean like back in the hotels weird.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I was going to say something else, but the weird images of what Mark might be proposing just entered in my head. I can't get them out.
I'm really looking forward to sort of another tangential thought. I'm really looking forward to the Nintendo World, like, theme park stuff. I think that's going to be pretty crazy when they finish that.
Remind me, what
Universal Studios and Nintendo are making a theme park just for Nintendo. Products and property and IP. Like, that's going to be insane.
In their existing park or building a standalone?
Building a standalone, brand new. Yeah.
That's
I think Disney World
quite
for Nintendo.
Yeah, that is quite a leap for Nintendo.
I know.
Yeah, I think they've shied away from it because I think they're scared of it not working in a way.
It's like, yeah, they're working on it.
Yeah, you have one shot to get it right.
Yep.
Especially as a standalone.
There's a lot of infrastructure that can't be changed as quickly as Nintendo would like.
Yeah.
That's a tough game.
All right. Do you want to make this a shorter episode? Do you want to start wrapping it up?
Yeah, I think we're pretty much
Normal
we're up
length.
there.
How long are we in right now?
50 minutes.
Sean in the comments says there is an AR cart place in Belgium called Battle Cart, and I need to look up where that is.
Time to go to Belgium.
I'll go back to Belgium and go play AR Mario Kart.
That's where we're doing episode 200.
There you
Sweet.
go.
We'll go eat some frites.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you want to do a geeking out, or do you want to go straight to?
Yeah, we didn't do Geeking Out last time.
No, we didn't.
All right. So, what are you guys geeking out about?
That's funny. We should have been a little more prepared.
For those of you listening on the live stream, this is how it usually goes. But when you listen to the final episode, we creatively cut these moments so it paces up a little bit quicker.
I saw some scenes of Simon Pegg in Ready Player One.
Huh.
And yeah, he's in it. And it's made me really excited about it. And it was live action. It wasn't more like weird AR, or not AR, but like the digital world.
Uh-huh.
And it had a little bit of the digital world and Simon Pegg's character. It was in a monologue where he was on like Stephen Colbert's show. And it had heart, like in that scene. And it wasn't just like, oh, look, there's Deadpool. Or like, oh, look, there's so-and-so. Like, ha, ha, ha. Like, it actually
Had some substance to it.
Yeah, it had some substance. It had some writing. It had some thought. And that's the first time I actually thought about this movie, not in a, like, I have to adjust my expectations type mindset. Where, like, oh, I don't remember they actually did this in the book. I mean, the concept, he idolized the guy who invented the Oasis. And that was the first time it kind of shined through. So I'm glad I got to see that little snippet of the movie, which made me more excited about it. I hope that carries, I hope that theme carries on a little more. People actually caring and not just being overwhelmed and like nostalgia porn. I hope the movie actually stands on its own.
Let's see, this week I finished up Jessica Jones season 2. Sort of geeking out.
Through.
It's okay. It's all right. It's yeah. So I'm not really geeking out on that. It's just more of a note. But as far as geeking out, I've been watching a lot of Key and Peele stuff on Comedy Central. I actually never really watched the show that much when it was on, so I'm catching a lot of the clips and stuff, and they're pretty funny.
That was one of the only like sketch-ish comedy shows that I actually liked.
Yeah.
I love the alien invasion one.
I think I saw that one.
Yeah.
There's
That one was so great.
there's several of them on there. I guess they're uncut and uncensored as well on YouTube, so they're. I have to keep my headphones on or watch them late at night so the kids don't walk in on me. But they're pretty good. I watched the one where
Also,
he's like invites his buddy downstairs. Like he's like, "Hey, let's check out some of this music," and he picks up an acoustic guitar and starts singing him some country songs that he wrote, and they're like super racist, but in his mind they're not. Oh, it's pretty good.
The other two favorites I have are the gay guy in the office talking to the other guy, accusing him of being wow, brain fart. Anyway, accusing him of hating gay people and
Homophobic.
Yeah, homophobic. Thank you. And the other one was the two guys trying to sweet talk women coming out of church or something. Oh my god, that one was hilarious. They had so many good ones, though.
What about you, Sean? What are you geeking out about?
I don't know if I'm just geeking out about any one thing, but I have spring break coming up next week. So just the potential of having a little bit of extra time is pretty exciting. I just don't know how I'm going to divide it up yet. I have some maker projects. I have some CNC I want to do, and then I don't know, just too much to manage, and I don't know where to start. But the fact that I have the opportunity to actually do something a little bit more is pretty exciting and motivating. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's how I feel about my shop right now. So there's just everything is just in there and it has no real structure. I'm excited about it, but I'm just kind of at a loss.
I know it doesn't probably feel this way, but from the outside looking in, it looks like you're moving pretty fast in what you're doing.
Well, I have tools that are in a shared space, and that's about it right now.
Yeah. All right, well, we would love to hear from all of you. Please visit the Making Geeks website, makinggeeks.com. Check out the contact page. Right there, you could actually list any questions or comments or suggestions that you have for the show, and we will get those responses. And check out the homepage where you could listen to all of our past episodes and check out all of our past guests that we've had on the show. And right there at makinggeeks.com.
And you can find us across all of the social medias at Making Geeks Podcast on Instagram and at Making Geeks on Twitter and Facebook.
And also check out our Making Geeks YouTube channel where we live broadcast this show for the next couple weeks. Next couple months, actually. On Thursdays at 9 Eastern. Join in the conversation and be a part of the broadcast. That'd be a lot of fun. And I'd like to also thank our patrons over at patreon.com/makinggeeks for keeping us afloat with their financial contributions and putting their money where our mouth is, essentially. So I also want to thank our top patron, Mr. Seth Williams, for his help and being the top patron. Thanks, buddy. Someday you'll get dethroned. We need to make something for you, like a king of Patreon or something. I don't know.
Oh, I have those laser cut things I need to send him.
See, there you go. But if you guys want to join in on the Patreon party, go to patreon.com/makinggeeks. Thank you.
And you can find us all individually all over the internet at geekbuilders.net, geeksmithing.com, Asylum Designs everywhere, and the PIworkshop.com. And everybody, would like to thank you for hanging out with us on this super special Wednesday edition. This is all leading up to our hopefully triumphant return to the public forum at Maker Faire in May. But we hope you enjoyed this shorter version. Stay tuned every Saturday. This is not taking the place. This is supplemental. So you're welcome. This one's on us. And just like we do every weekend, we hope you have a fantastic rest of the week.
Take care. Take care.
Yep.
Later.
Go do something fun.
Hump day. Woo!
Humpty, humpty, hump.
Hey, we did it.
Yay.
Everybody's got to do that, 3 other times?
Yeah, we'll do shorter. Definitely shorter.
Well, if we're able to start when we originally
Right.
said we wanted to, I don't think it'll be that bad.
Yeah.
Agreed.
We pushed it tonight to make sure that we could do it.
I'm skipping the gym tomorrow. I'm sleeping in. It's late.
Hey,
At least I don't have a half day tomorrow.
all you guys in the audience, and Mark, who just joined, I guess, who just realized that we're doing a serial background. You're here a little bit too late, buddy. We just did 2 episodes, and you just caught like the last 10 minutes of the
Oh,
second
the
one.
Schaefermeyer?
Yeah.
Mark's here. Hey, buddy.
But thank you guys for joining us. It's always good to have you here, and all of the new people as well. There's new names in the chat. We'd like to see that. So thank you guys.
10:35. Where the hell is Mark?
He's in Utah. Go play with your Ryobi tools.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, congrats on that. That was
Yeah,
pretty
man.
cool, you guys.
Yeah. Well done, man. Well done.
That's 2 major sweepstakes that you've won.
What was the other one?
Something's fishy.
You won the MakerCast, like Maker
Oh.
Box.
That's right. My episode should be coming out soon, unless it's getting scrapped. I don't know.
And Jay, I think you had that good idea of the 2 making geeks kind of versus the other 2 making geeks. What teams and what projects? That's a cool conversation I'd like to have. Maybe some sort of event.
I will write that down, and I will try not to lose it this time.
All right, fellas, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Thanks for waiting for me.
Yeah, it is. It is bedtime.
Thanks,
All
everybody.
right, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
See you.